Hey guys, hope you're doing well. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about the upcoming season, some things, tournament-wise I'm fishing. So what I kind of learned this past week when I was out at Susquehanna Fishing Tackle doing their show, I had a lot of people coming up to me and asking me, what series am I fishing this year? And honestly, it didn't cross my mind that I hadn't really announced this or talked about it. The past 6 years, 7 years, I fished the FLW Tour, which became the MLF Pro Circuit, and it is now the MLF Invitational. So what basically happened there and where the decision had to come in was, do I keep fishing MLF where I've been, which was one of the top professional levels at the time when it was FLW and the MLF Pro Circuit with the 5-fish format, or do I switch and fish the Bassmaster Opens? So I was going back and forth. There's a lot of pros and cons to both. And I really had a hard time making this decision, and the part that was the toughest was with MLF. The invitationals now don't have a championship, but the goal there is to come in the top 8 for 2023 because that'll qualify you for the Bass Pro Tour. And I've been right on the edge of this. So last year in 2022, I ended up in 12th in the point standings. Last year they took 10 guys. 2023 they're going to take 8 guys to the Bass Pro Tour, and they're doing that. I think it's a 10% number that they're trying to bring in and bring out each year. So this past year was actually a few more, but I don't know. I was playing with the numbers. I missed it by 7 points, which is 7 spots. I caught a limit every single day last year except for one at Pickwick, and that was basically what did it to me. If I would have caught one more fish, which I lost a couple times, it was a 3rd or 4th tournament of the year. At the time, I didn't realize it was as big of a deal as it was, but ended up costing me and being what it was. But that's all right, part of fishing. The year before was a little bit tougher. I think just missed the championship. But the year before that, in 2020, I came in 3rd place. So there's been 2 years that I've been right on that line where I would have made it. At the time in 2020, they did not take the top guys to the Bass Pro Tour. So that I got to fish the first Bass Pro Tour event on Sam Rayburn that year. Struggled, but it was a cool event because I got to experience that. And it left me a desire to get back there and fish it again and really kind of try to make it there. So I also had the option of fishing the Bassmaster Opens. They've gone to 9 events this year. Instead of having like a northern division, a southern, and a central, or however they made it up last year, they got like division 1, 2, and 3. So there's not a true northern division event. They got St. Lawrence River, but then the other 2 that would typically be up there is, I think, Watts Bar and Bugs Island. So nothing that I truly feel like the schedule is like lined up perfect that I had to go and try to do it. But when I'm picking a schedule, I'm looking for about 10 tournaments in a year. Maybe a couple more here and there if I'm just adding some like weekend things, but 10 full week ones it's a pretty good number I found. I go and pre-practice most of these places, so I go spend 2-3 days. So it adds up throughout the year, and it just makes for a good amount of traveling. So that was why I ended up ultimately deciding when I was going back and forth to go with the MLF Invitationals, and I'm going to do the Northern Toyotas, which I like because then I get my 6 tournaments for the Invitationals, which we started at Okeechobee. Then we'll go to Clarks Hill, I think it's Lake Eufaula in Oklahoma, Lake of the Ozarks, Potomac, and then up to the Mississippi River. I've been to 3 of these 6 places, but 3 of them I've never been to before. So I'm excited for that. It's always good to go see some new water. I got one that's relatively close to home. It's like within 3.5 hours or so to the Potomac River. So I got a decent amount of experience there. Okeechobee, I'm ready to try to get a little revenge on. But the other thing, when I was making this decision, and we'll go back to it, but the Toyota Series, it has a championship. It's $200K if you win that one. So that's really a big plus of it as well. So when I'm doing the invitationals, we're shooting for the top 8. The Toyota Series, I think you gotta be top 20 or 25 to make the championship. And then that's on Table Rock in the fall. So I fished there one other time, and I enjoyed the lake, and I'd like to go back out there. So that's where we're going to try to requalify through. The other thing when I was considering this was, obviously we can't do this without our sponsors. So what I had discussions with a lot of the companies, and people were for me doing whatever I wanted, whatever I felt was best. If I wanted to try to go and fish the opens, fish all 9 of them, and make the Elite Series, or if I wanted to stay where I'm at and go fish the Invitationals and try to make the Bass Pro Tour, people were behind me either way. So that was really good to know. The thing was, personally, I felt there was more exposure available at the MLF Invitationals. They're going to have live cameras all 3 days of the tournament, which that is another change I was telling you about. There's no championship. It's also a 3-day tournament instead of 4 days now. So that's a little bit different. But it gives you a chance to have a camera in your boat every single day if you're catching them. I like that aspect. And that was maybe one of the bigger reasons. And the entry fees, they came down a hair from last year. Not that they're cheap. They're still $5,000 a piece. So it's expensive, but I feel there's more money to be won in that. The Bass Opens it's tricky. If you don't come in the top, say 7 or 8, you're not really making a whole lot of money. There's 225 or 250 guys fishing it this year. I don't know where they capped it at. I can't remember. But either way, it was a lot of people. There's 175-ish guys fishing all of those. So that's kind of played into my thought process too. It's like, do I fish against 150 guys, 175 plus those extra guys fishing it? So going back and forth, I was like, which one will it be easier, which is very relative, and put that in quotes because neither of them are going to be easy to come in the top 9 for the Opens or the top 8 for the Invitationals. But I went with that familiarity with MLF. I've been really happy there over the years. So that was kind of how it all went together. If you have questions about this, put them in the comments below. Happy to talk to you guys about it. Very open about it. There's nothing I hold back either way. So if I would tell you one thing, if the schedules would have aligned that I could have done all 9 Opens and all 6 of the Invitationals, I probably would have done it. We would have talk to the boss, the wife, to make sure she would have been on board, but we both know that's like the best case scenario is if you could do all of them, you would really have a chance basically at qualifying for either one, and then you could really kind of kickstart everything else and keep it moving along. But I'm kind of stuck in a weird spot right now, so I'm looking forward to the year, really ready to get down to Okeechobee. I went down and pre-practiced it, checked out Clark's Hill on my way down for a day, so it's going to happen soon. February 8th through the 10th, Lake Okeechobee, and then after that, at the end of the month and into early March, I'll be down at Clark's Hill from there. So great talking to you. If you have any other thoughts, let me know. And if not, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.